Somewhere between money and silence, between failure and faith, between land and trees, a businessman began to transform into a seeker. Politics, pressure, police, jail और बहुत कुछ. आज हम बात करेंगे पैसे की, failure की, ego की, mother earth की, cluttered minds की, peace की, and the man behind the title, chief eternal optimist.
A kicker plant grows up to be a kicker. There was a bloodless coup in the company. Imagine heading a company which has seen a red, pretty deep red, for 25 years of losses. If I wasn't an optimist, what was I? I survived the 1,000 cuts. The 7 words that I coined for myself, purpose of my life ahead was clean, green, serene, and responsible. Sights, sounds, and smells. But in some kind of collateral damage situation, I lost 2/3 of my wealth. Unfair, immoral. Took me 2 minutes of a psychological setback to figure out.
ये जो पैसा होता है ये एक्चुअली फ्रीडम देता है या धीरे धीरे ये आपकी आइडेंटिटी को इन्फ्लुएंस करना स्टार्ट कर देता है?
डिटैच्ड होके जो आप जिंदगी का आनंद, बिजनेस का आनंद ले सकते हैं, अप्स एंड डाउन्स को का ड्रामा एज इफ यूर अ थर्ड पार्टी आप देखें, उसमें जो आनंद है उस एंटेंगलमेंट में नहीं है. इट्स जस्ट दैट देयर केम अ पॉइंट व्हेन द रूल्स ऑफ द गेम चेंज, द माफिया केम इन, एंड व्हेन द माफिया कम्स इन, इट नीड नॉट ब्रिंग इन द गन्स विद इट. मेक श्योर दैट प्रॉफिटियरिंग प्रिवेल्स. दिस इज द वर्ल्ड वी लिव इन. द माफिया इजेक्टेड मी. Rarest of rare number of people can spend insane amount of money to get from point A to point B at the time they want to. I'm one of them. I still couldn't make it. Destiny was far more powerful. Money was like paper, did nothing. And the fallacy of the power of money was driven into mind at that age of 23. किसी को मुकम्मल जहां नहीं मिलता, कहीं जमीन तो कहीं आसमान नहीं मिलता. I'm karma driven, and that's how I chose the name Karma Lakelands for my space.
We need to understand that every crime that we are committing today, that is what is our karma.
It's going to come back to us.
It's going to come back to us.
Or to our next generations.
Today on the Untold Story with Commander Victor Mike, we are not meeting just a resort owner. We are not meeting just another successful entrepreneur. We are meeting a man who touched success very early, who became India's highest individual taxpayer at an age when most people are still searching for the right direction. But then life probably asked him a deeper question. Somewhere between money and silence, between failure and faith, between land and trees, a businessman began to transform into a seeker. And what emerged was not just Karma Lakelands. It was a living statement that luxury need not destroy nature, success need not kill the soul, and business can still have a conscience. और ये सब कुछ रातों रात नहीं हुआ. कहानी में ट्विस्ट आया. पॉलिटिक्स, प्रेशर, पुलिस, जेल और बहुत कुछ. आज हम बात करेंगे पैसे की, फेलियर की, ईगो की, मदर अर्थ की, क्लटर्ड माइंड्स की, पीस की, एंड द मैन बिहाइंड द टाइटल, चीफ एटर्नल ऑप्टिमिस्ट. This is not an interview. This is a journey from success to surrender, from profits to purpose, from one man's story to one planet's warning. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Untold Story with Commander Victor Mike. Today's guest, Shri Ashwani Khurana, the man who has created a legacy to preserve. Ashwani, hi, welcome on the Untold Story with Commander Victor Mike. A lot of people would like to introduce you as founder of the Karma Lakelands. Honestly, I don't want to start with the resort. I want to start with the man who tasted success very early, saw business from top, and then also saw a lost face. But then he decided to build something which looks less like a business, but like a statement to the entire world. If I want to mention and tell my audience, you were once India's highest individual income taxpayer just at the age of 28. आज दुनिया आपको जानती है, पहचानती है as an environmentalist, as an eco-entrepreneur, as a founder and the maker of Karma Lakelands. Somewhere between money, failure, success and Mother Earth, something really changed Ashwani Khurana. Can you talk about that reality?
Thank you, Commander, having me over on your show. Honestly, a kikar plant grows up to be a kikar, not a mango. I'm the same that I was. Scales have changed.
Right. Well, I want to tell my audience that Ashwini's visiting card reads as Chief Eternal Optimist.
Yeah.
That's correct. I think it's like a title, maybe a philosophy, or probably a survival mechanism with a pun intended. What do you have to say?
All of the above. It's a title that I carry today, pursuant to an event that happened about 16 months ago. There was a bloodless coup in the company. My son took charge of the operations. And I thought to myself, my name should no longer carry the word executive, because those are decisions I wouldn't take any longer. And I know I've been an eternal optimist. Imagine heading a company which has seen a red, pretty deep red, for 25 years of losses. And I kept smiling. I kept paying my bills on time. And if I wasn't an optimist, what was I? And I loved this word that defined who I have been. And now I would stick only to that, a little bit of coaching, guiding to the leadership team, and the eternal optimist that I was and I am.
You know, I'm too intrigued to ask you, when you mentioned the red face and the kind of losses that you went through 25 years, just to brush it around for the audience, how deep cuts did you get on your heart and your soul?
Well, the
Finding
1,000
from the
cuts I survived.
statistics perspective.
I survived the 1,000 cuts because there was a compensatory positive that happened due to my karma. And the positive was, lottery days, good old times, I had a passion to plant 100,000 trees in 10 years. The target to meet had a guiding line: greening like charity does begin at home but should not end there. And so I had been buying a lot of lands in the rural suburbs of Delhi. Those lands' values grew 1,000 times and beyond. And every few years of bleeding in business, when I was running short of money, I would sell 1 or 2 properties. Another few months or years of fuel came in, and I would sell another property. So while I was in losses all through these years, cash flow was not a problem. And cash is king. And then I was detached with money. So I would easily sell one property after the other to keep pursuing my real dream, to create a conscious community, a place where people realized that they have to be responsible beings. The 7 words that I coined for myself and the purpose of my life ahead was clean, green, serene, and responsible. Sights, sounds, and smells. So because I was distracted in not looking at the business numbers, but the number of trees, the liters of water harvesting I'm doing and all, I missed out on looking at the growth of value of my lands. Had I been looking at that, I would have been selling a lot of lands. They'd grown a lot of value, and that I would not have held on to and exited long ago had I not kept distracted from growth of money. And kept selling, kept fueling the fire which incessantly wanted more and more money.
How much land did you sell during these phase
I
of losses?
sold about 20 properties in and around Delhi.
Okay.
Golf links, fancy bungalow.
At this point of time, how much property you own in terms of the scalability?
270 acres of Karma Lakelands. I bought the lands for a few lakhs to a few crores an acre. And
I'm going to be doing a deep dive when we come to that part. As of now, I'm not starting with tree sustainability or luxury. I want to ask a very basic and a very emotional question to Ashwani Khurana. The point is that, before this entire thing of Karma Lakelands happened, did this monk ever sold his Ferrari, or you continue to, race up your Ferrari at a very fast pace even now?
I am on the fast lane. I am indulgent in the worldly things, but I'm not attached to them. So entanglement is what the problem can be. Attachment is a little different.
It's a dichotomy, when we say that you enjoy the worldly affairs, but you don't get entangled. I don't know how to stay at the surface, have the entire fun, but at the same time stay detached. So this is something which I think everybody needs to ponder upon, and I don't know how beautifully you're doing it.
Detached indulgence is my mantra, and that's how I lead my life.
And how do you actually judge yourself whether you're detached and whether you're not? Is it just
How
that
do
when
I-
things starts affecting your peace, your sleep time, that is when it's an alarm for you that you're not yet detached?
Not too long ago, there was an unexpected immoral court order.
Immoral?
Immoral court order against me.
Okay.
I lost in one order where I was not even a litigant in the court, but in some kind of collateral damage situation. I lost 2/3 of my wealth. 100% unexpected and unfair, immoral. It took me 2 minutes of a psychological setback to figure out how I would express it to my immediate family. And my answer, my statement to them after a while when I cracked the news to them was, about 35 years of my hard work, I created a certain value. I created 3 sand castles. 2 are gone. 1 is still there. What I meant to say was 2/3 of the value that I created in these many years was gone, but 1/3 was still there. And sand castles, because the entire life is illusion.
Yeah.
We talk about it. And if I had created certain value, 2/3 of the illusion is gone, 1/3 is there. So this talks of detachment, this talks of immediate healing from an unexpected, undeserved hurt. And I think it explains who I am.
Tell me something. ये जो हम पैसे की बात करते हैं, does ये जो पैसा होता है ये actually freedom देता है या धीरे धीरे ये आपकी identity को influence करना start कर देता है? I'm talking of the internal feelings of a billionaire.
Billionaire, in one word, I'm not.
Okay, I would take the tag back.
The way life is going on, by the time I leave the planet, I could be.
Yes.
However, that never was my pursuit.
I understand. And I think I've heard you talking about it in another forum. But let's get to the crux of the question that I asked.
Yes.
Yeah, how does this thing of success, of money, internally influences a man's mindset? वो धीरे धीरे हमारी आइडेंटिटी को कैसे इन्फ्लुएंस करता है?
कर सकता है, करता है। बहुत बारी मैंने भी सेटबैक्स इंटरनली डील किए हैं, पर अगर आप समझ लें सक्सेस की डेफिनेशन ठीक से, तो डिटैच्ड होके जो आप ज़िंदगी का आनंद, बिजनेस का आनंद ले सकते हैं, अप्स एंड डाउन्स का ड्रामा एज इफ़ यूर अ थर्ड पार्टी आप देखें, तो उसमें जो आनंद है उस एंटेंगलमेंट में नहीं है। तो पैसा आपको कंट्रोल कर रहा है या आप पैसा कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं? हु इज़ द मास्टर डिसाइड्स द डायनामिक्स ऑफ who enjoys who more.
I think I would love to hear you after the production is done and this podcast is live on a rewind mode of what you just mentioned today, because at this point of time, well, it's not about the host, it's about the guest. Very small minor losses, they affect me. And I'm just wondering, when you mention about 2/3, I'm not even talking about scalability of that loss, the statistics, but not getting attached to that traumas or going through that emotional chaotic noise, still staying away from the entire dramas and ensuring that your focus is never lost. And that's what actually helped you to come back at a very fast pace. So this is something a learning for me and for my great audience, that we have to keep reciprocating and watch this part.
Absolutely. As I said, success again, Do we measure it in numbers and money or in other aspects, finer aspects of life?
I'm going a little more Sattvic. The king, Siddhartha Gautam, before he embraced the life of Lord Buddha, he had tasted the every aspect of so-called illusionary world, the power, the success, the money, everything. But then there came a time where he left everything. Sab kuch. Completely given up. How do you connect with this thought? Is it possible in today's world? And if it is, what is it that you're chasing today in your present version of Ashwani 2.0?
See, I also let go of the bondage of wealth without having to leave my home and the trappings of wealth. All I did was, at an energy level, get detached. You don't have to physically walk out. That's why I use the word detached indulgence. And after that, the life that you can lead is so much more beautiful.
What I'm trying to ask is that, we see one example of Lord Buddha,
Yeah.
who had everything in his life.
And he walked out on it.
And then he walked out of it.
Yeah.
That is one definition of detachment.
So I say, without walking out of it, you could still declare a similar situation. That's how I define me.
I think the message is pretty clear to my audience also that, detachment in today's Kali Yuga or today's world it's all about mindset. It's all about, being there, doing everything that is required to be done. But at the same time, not let it influence your mind, your brain, your soul, your body in any form. And I think that's the most difficult thing in today's Kali Yuga, if I must say. This podcast will talk about the untold, but at this point of time, it's about, inspirational stories of Ashwani Khurana. And if I just want to, touch the very essence of this successful man, I would like to ask you one thing. What do you have to tell about today's entrepreneurs? The budding entrepreneurs, the startups, people are struggling. When we talk in terms of the statistics, that every single day, there are multiple agencies, companies, foundations, they die, they break, and maybe they are not able to again come back.
My message to today's entrepreneurs is simple. We are here beyond making money for our own livelihoods to serve the planet and its people. We can have two mindsets. One, pursuit of profit at the top, looking after people as a second priority, and the planet, the future generations, the other stakeholders' interest as a third. So we could be profit, people, planet priorities, or flip it around as planet, people, profit. If you want everlasting, long-term joys, long-term profits, real money, be sure the people and the planet will make it happen if your pursuit is serving them first and profit last. Look at the Tatas of the world. And there are many business studies. In fact, I have a book titled Sustainable Sustainability. Yeah. Rajiv Peshawari is exactly resonating with the walk that I've just talked. And if you're a planet first kind of company, be sure you could last 50 to 150 years or beyond, and you'll make big money. But if you're profit first, you're somewhere or the other going to be in some tangle. Directors, the company might go to jail. You will not be a long-lasting company. Yeah. So if you want to make real wealth, the pursuit of wealth should be a byproduct of your karma, of your serving the people and the planet. Be sure about it. And that's what I'd like to communicate.
I think I also follow a philosophy of double S. It's called as selflessly selfish. I think that's pretty not mean in today's Kali Yuga, but yes, it is required.
You and I are totally on the same page.
On the same pitch.
Our verbiage might be different.
Yeah.
But we're bang on in agreement.
So prior to Karma Lakelands, I guess your core business was lottery?
Yes.
So did it fail miserably?
It didn't fail.
It didn't fail.
It didn't fail. I made a lot of money. I made a lot of fame. I was the country's highest taxpayer, selling lots of lotteries of the state of Sikkim. It's just that there came a point when the rules of the game changed. The mafia came in. And when the mafia comes in, it need not bring in the guns with it. It brings in...
It's all brains and political pressure and the power game.
The power game, the money game, whether you deal with the judiciary, the bureaucracy, the police, the administration, all of the above, and make sure that profiteering prevails.
Yeah.
This is the world we live in. So the mafia ejected me, and thankfully, I was not entangled by ego, despite having ruled in the industry for 15, 20 years at the top. And I just moved out. It didn't fail. Rules of the game were over. I moved on.
You know, you touched a word called ego, and you talked about your face when you had 2/3 of your business going crazily bad scenario. If I have to ask you, tell me, what is it the first that breaks when you go through this process? Is it the company? Is this the confidence? Or is this the ego? What breaks first?
Actually, only one thing needs to break, just the company.
Yeah.
You can rebuild it, as long as you have the other two things in place.
Correct.
If the other two things suffer a setback or break, then you can never create another company.
I think the message is pretty clear. All those budding entrepreneurs who are listening, like me too, you don't have to, just break down. Your confidence needs to be there in the place, and then it's all about one more idea, and you can be rock solid back again. And I'm sure, when people, today is a world of disruption, today is a world of innovation, and I wonder, those were our days when, things were way different, and this is the world today when such beautiful innovation happens, and how people are making, money just to, fill in some gaps and some voids. And that is phenomenally the mindset, the power of this brain that our entrepreneurs are doing wonderful job.
Absolutely.
And across the globe. It's just not limited to 140 crore ki population.
Amazing things are happening, and the world we live in today, there's so much of innovation out of the box, businesses, ideas, and the kind of entrepreneurs we have today, history has not seen before.
Yeah. So I'm going to be doing a mix and match of troughs and crests of your lives. At this point of time, I want to take you to another trough and ask you something more emotional. So, Ashwani, if you don't mind talking about the most painful moment of your life, what is it? What was it? And how long did it stay with you?
I was 23.
Okay.
My younger brother, 18, went to drop me to the airport for a flight to Sikkim where I had the business.
Yes.
Way back, there's a car crash. He dies. I am already closer to Gangtok. I'm asked by a car coming
Back
the other way to get me to turn back to get back home. I'm on the road 20 hours to Calcutta from Sikkim to be able to catch a flight to be with the family in this painful hour.
Yeah.
I tried to charter a plane because regular flights would not get me back home at the time I had to be. Somehow that did not happen. I actually got home after the cremation was over. And one life message that happened in this pain was, rarest of rare number of people can spend insane amount of money to get from point A to point B at the time they want to. I'm one of them. I still couldn't make it. Destiny was far more powerful. Money was like paper, did nothing. And the fallacy of the power of money was driven into my mind at that age of 23. I'd just started to make big money, and I would have surely got arrogant had I not faced this fall on my face. And this was the most painful period of my life. It took me a long time to heal. And one song I used to play on way to office after this painful loss. किसी को मुकम्मल जहाँ नहीं मिलता, कहीं ज़मीन तो कहीं आसमान नहीं मिलता. I used to cry all the way to work, driving myself, playing this song, thinking of my lost brother. And it took me a long time to pick up my pieces. However, many years ago, there came a period of life. I lost 2 children myself. There were other losses, etc., which I won't dwell upon. But then I dusted off my clothes after the fall, and I told myself, get up and win the race. And I was the winner because I got up immediately from the setback. Major setback. 4 days later, I am at the arbitration hall where I was being cross-examined. And people couldn't believe this guy. 4 days ago, it's all over the newspapers, his personal losses. He's kept his word, he's kept on his appointment diary, he's there. And they offered to adjourn the matter and not cross-examine me. And I said, no, the business of life must go on. I'm all set. Do me a favor, continue with the process. That's the way I can heal faster. So, as a youngster, there's a loss. It takes me forever to heal. Grown up, thankfully, I've been on a certain path. I'm proud that I picked up the pieces right away.
If I have to do a little more deep dive, not to scratch your emotional side, was there a moment or that night, any time where you felt and when you talk to yourself that you have no clue what's going to happen next? Maybe your judgment day or maybe your doomsday, and you were clueless what's happening next.
There was a time, luckily, my great friend, psychologist, psychiatrist, Dr. Chugh, I called him up last 2-3 days. I'm struggling to sleep. I'm desperate. Which tablet should I have to assist me to go to sleep? He says, come for a cup of tea with me tomorrow.
Okay.
And we'll talk. And we talked, and he refused to give me a tablet. And he got a promise out of me that I'll manage my mind positively and better, bring in acceptance, and start living life a day at a time. Don't think longer. Don't dwell upon the past. I did a wonderful job after that.
So, do you believe that there comes a moment in our life when we understand that everything is falling apart in front of us, everything is destroyed, there is nothing which we can control, and that's when we realize that we are just a small cog in a sphere of something which is controllable or being controlled by another agency altogether. And that's when our enlightenment is happening. Isme kahin, have you realized over your journey that it's just the phase when it's paving way for the next bigger picture of your life's journey?
Absolutely. हर fall के बाद एक rise आना जो है बड़ा normal है, अगर आप टूटते नहीं हैं. अगर आप टूटे तो rise आप खुद ही लेट कर रहे हैं. ये काफ़ी पहले मेरे को समझ आ गया था. और मेरी एक फेवरेट पोएम ही रही है, उसका नाम ही है द रेस. और उस पोएम में मैसेज भी ये है कि जो रेस में आप दौड़ते हैं, आप सबसे पहले आके विनर बने या ना बने इतना ज़रूरी नहीं है. जितना ज़रूरी है हर फॉल के बाद आप उठे, आप टूटे नहीं और आप फिर से भागे, फिर गिरे, टूटे नहीं, उठे, पूरी माइट के साथ, पूरे जोर के साथ फिर से भागे. चाहे 4 बारी क्यों नहीं गिरे, हर बारी आप उठे और भागे. यू ऑलवेज रोज, यू गॉट अप एंड रैन द रेस टिल द फिनिशिंग लाइन. आखिर में उस फिनिशिंग लाइन को क्रॉस किया या पहले में किया, एक्चुअली इज नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट. द विनर इज द मैन हु फिनिशेस द रेस आफ्टर एवरी फॉल ही राइजेस.
There are plethora of examples, case studies, stories. As a storyteller myself, as now meeting another beautiful storyteller, this entire perspective of a race. I've been a sports person. When I take it in the realm of actual race, I also realized that at a very, very initial stages that it was never about the destination. It was all about the beautiful journey. The applauses that you come across, the beautiful path that you cross, the journey. As a triathlete, I could cycle for 90 kilometers in one stretch during any competition. And then, I used to just wonder that instead of, in that realm of confusion or a dilemma, when I'm just trying to chase, to be the first, which I would definitely do. But then slowly the transformation happened and I started enjoying, the surroundings also. And that helped me, get even better in my performances, because then it was not about, a rat chase or something like, something that I have to just finish, but it was more about, my brain and my body talking to each other in a very synchronized way. So either we realize it the comfortable way, or either we keep cribbing. Eventually the simpler we surrender and the simpler we try to attain peace in any environment, that's when the rise up thing happens a little fast.
100%.
And as how beautifully brought out, every single philosopher, visionary talks about, that, there are falls in our lives, but it's all about counting on your rising up back again. And that's what a phoenix does, coming out of the ashes. And I think this man Ashwani right now in the chair of the guest is truly an example of that phoenix, because जिसके ऊपर बीतती है ना उसको पता होता है. एंड आई एम श्योर आज जब मेरी ऑडियंस अश्विनी के साथ कनेक्ट करेगी, you will realize how grounded a human being can be, whether he enjoys all the perks and privileges of the lifestyles and the luxury, but at the end of the day हमारी soul ही actually decide करती है कि हमारा अस्तित्व क्या है, हम कितने बड़े हैं इस दुनिया में. Ashwini, such a pleasure, hosting and talking and, you taking me through this deep dive of the philosophical journey that you've gone through. And truly, it's so inspiring. Now I would like to, take you to the other realm of who you are and start talking about Karma Lakelands. I think something which people also need to understand and know, because back in past when you started investing in this land parcels, which was just bare, land parcels, which didn't make sense, of investment. I would like you to teleport me, like as if you're standing here in this land where we are sitting in Karma Lakelands. What did you feel about when you mentioned about 270 acres? I'm sure you would have taken small packets and got them together. But then जब आप यहाँ पे आए थे, आपने इस चीज़ में क्या, इस ज़मीन में क्या देखा था? कोई कनेक्ट बना था, कोई विजन बनी थी, मदर अर्थ दिखी थी, एक वुंडेड मदर अर्थ दिखी थी, या वो पुराना आपका जो एक चेज था, वाइल्ड गूस चेज ऑफ प्लांटिंग ट्रीज, वो था? इसमें ना अनटोल्ड सच बताइएगा, बिकॉज एक माइंडसेट बोलता है कि ज़मीन का पोटेंशियल रियल एस्टेट होता है, एज अ बिजनेस, एज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर, और एक फिलोसफिकल माइंडसेट होता है जो आप प्रोपेगेट कर रहे हैं. एंड आई एम श्योर आपको बार बार जितना जनता, जितना ऑडियंस सुनेगी, दे विल कनेक्ट विद यू. सो व्हाट डिड यू एक्चुअली सी इन दिस now beautiful land parcel back when you actually started investing in?
This is a piece of brown earth, and historically this must have been rain-fed agriculture.
Okay.
But over the years, when water tables went down, rainfalls reduced, bore wells were difficult to dig and expensive, and farmers who owned these lands did not have the money to do deep borewell digging. So it was a piece of brown earth, fallow. All I saw was a potential to grow trees.
Ji.
And I had a personal target to meet 10,000 trees a year. In 4 years, I had done only 28,000 trees, not 40,000. And I thought this was the place. In addition to my planting trees wherever I could, my one guiding mantra was greening like charity begins at home but should not end there.
Yeah.
And so planting at the Tihar prison, local police station, roadsides, near my offices, near my homes, was not getting me the desired numbers. I came to this place with the broker, and I saw my dream coming true. And I thought, oh, this piece of land, tens of thousands of trees can happen. And no government agency would stop me because I'm going to own this piece of land. And that was all that I thought.
So, कितना वक्त हो गया कर्मा लेकलैंड्स?
89 से ज़मीन लेनी शुरू करी थी और अब आप almost 40 years later देखिए, this place is worth billions and the pursuit was never the billions.
अगर आंकड़े की बात करें तो कितने वृक्ष, कितने पेड़ आपने प्लांट करे हैं?
2.5-3 लाख पेड़ पौधे इसमें हैं, 5 themed forests हैं.
Are you serious?
A bamboo forest with tens of thousands of trees, 10 varieties of bamboos. Then there's the ficus forest, bad, bargad, gular, नीम, इस टाइप के पेड़ हैं. और कैलाश सीक्रेट फॉरेस्ट, मेरी माँ का नाम कैलाश था और शी रेस्ट इन पीस इन दैट पीस ऑफ लैंड. आई विल बी गोइंग देयर टू. एंड वहाँ पे काफ़ी पेड़ लगे हुए हैं. देन देयर इज अ देवकाड़ सीक्रेट फॉरेस्ट, देयर इज अ बायोडाइवर्सिटी पार्क, एंड दिस होल प्लेस is less man-made, more inspired by nature. And one word is biodiversity. Yeah. There are lots of birds, bees, butterflies, bugs. We wouldn't light up bright lights at night because light pollution can drive away the creator's creation, these birds, these butterflies who might be resting on trees. So all these are happening, and money, creating value of real estate and all is a byproduct of this pursuit, and that's why this byproduct is doing immensely well.
I hope you will be able to take us around this beautiful surroundings you just mentioned.
Absolutely, that's a must.
It will be a big honor.
Security would not let you leave unless you do the tour with me.
At the hindsight, I believe a larger segment of our world's population, they only know how to abuse Mother Earth. So according to Ashwani Khurana, where does the buck stop?
At us. We have to take responsibility. She's our Mother Earth. I often tell my people, one bending exercise at least once a day you must do. Bend your back, bend your ego, pick up any piece of litter and put it in the bin.
Okay.
You're not going to get a pat on the back from anybody. Your salary would remain the same. But your soul will feel great. If not day one of starting this habit, this pattern in your life, eventually you'll feel so great about it that in a very simple, symbolic way, I have bowed to my Mother Earth. And I often remind my people, is she just my mother or your mother too? If it is your mother too, you also should do it. Not yourselves alone, but your entire area of influence. My 4-year-old granddaughter does this beautifully. Wherever she goes, she sees the litter, she picks it up, puts it in her school bag or in the bin. My president in the company, he does it. It's kind of a compulsory thing in this company, in this family. At least one bending exercise a day. And today you go around in Karma Lakelands campus. I think it's almost as green as you think Singapore is. A lot of people have said to me, I can't imagine that I'm in India when I'm in this campus. Just the simple thing, civic sense, cleanliness, the carrot and the stick policy that runs the show. And we're very proud of it.
Very beautiful Janta, the message is pretty clear. It's about bending yourself, touching the Mother Earth, doing your bit to this Matra Bhumi. हम सिर्फ माँ के साथ अपना blood relation भी निभा ले तो हम सोचते हैं हमने बहुत बड़ा काम करा. उस मातृभूमि को हम भूल जाते हैं जिस पे हम रोज़ कोई ना कोई गलत चीज़ या कोई ना कोई crime commit कर रहे हैं. So this message from Ashwani is very clear. Every day, just do a noble gesture. bend your ego, bend yourself, pick up anything which you find and just put it in the dustbin.
And if you
Or-
do it a few days, your soul will start feeling so nice. Like me, you'll start doing it 50 to 100 times a day. And
Really?
you'll feel healthier, more flexible, happier.
And I guess that's why you don't have an ego. Is that right?
I think so.
And I think entire world right now is fighting against each other. You know, the commander part comes out. Probably towards the end, I might ask you something on today's wars also. But I think when we are bending our egos, I think this world can become a better place.
Absolutely.
And that's what message we would like to, keep giving it back again to our beautiful audience. Amplify it in various forms, through various guests, through various visionaries, because eventually the life cycle ends there itself, which is our Mathrubhumi.
That's where we began, and that's where we are going back. We are going back from soil to soil, isn't it? And
Okay,
my case, I am also going back soil to soil, but I'll go back smokelessly. We'll talk about it.
आई होप आप स्मोकलेसली का मतलब समझ चुके होंगे. जब अश्विनी ने बात छेड़ी कि उनकी माता जी कैलाश जी, उनको एक स्पेसिफिक जगह में अगर उसे दफनाया गया हो या उनकी बॉडी वहाँ पे आराम कर रही है.
Put it poetically.
Yeah, please.
She's 6 feet under, and she's gone back from soil to soil smokelessly.
And that's where you want to,
I'll be in that zone.
beside her, you want to be comforting
My
her.
partner Dicky, she'll be there. Actually, we're 6 of us pledged to go down there. And there's this celebrity tree planter, People Baba, dear friend of mine, appreciates our work. He's our partner in various plantation initiatives inside and outside of
Is
Karma.
he the same one who's written that book, Ghost of the People?
Absolutely.
I've been honored. Ashwani had gifted that beautiful book to my daughter sometime back, and wonderful. Ashwani, now if I take you to another realm of luxury, which actually Karma Lakelands exhibits, I must tell audience, if you have not seen Karma Lakelands, you must come here and literally, witness whatever words Ashwani is talking about, the rainforest, about the greenery, about how he mentioned when people tell him that this looks something like a condominium or a very larger, bigger condominiums of Singapore. This is 270 acres I'm talking about. So much bigger than a condominium. How do you define a luxury in every sphere of life?
See, you can have luxury in terms of the specifications that go into the making of the building outside and inside. You can paste gold, dollars on your walls, or you can have huge amount of acreage full of trees. You can fix the air quality index and the oxygen levels indoors. That's far more important. Last 10 years, I'm a researcher on air quality, and I've learned it's not just the pollution, the air quality index that we need to measure. Equally important is the indoor oxygen levels. So every apartment that I make here at Karma Lakelands will be fixing both the solutions. We will not do over-the-top super luxury specifications, but we will do over-the-top number of trees. We will not allow anybody to honk. The eco covenants that every homeowner, a buyer will have to sign is to respect the environmental practices here.
So for the better of my audience, Karma Lakelands में आप buildings बना रहे हैं like a real estate guy, and you're selling apartments. Is that you mean to say?
Every apartment I will ensure has Switzerland standard air quality index with high levels of oxygen indoors. You will wake
This is
up
very
so
interesting,
fresh. Not a single apartment has ever looked at this aspect and catered to it in the NCR or maybe in the entire country.
How many apartments are you looking in future, and how many have been constructed till date?
We have rolled out 524 apartments, the Shobha Aranya at Karma Lakelands, and immense response.
Yeah.
The unique things, other than the air quality as a central solution, is that you're living on a golf course, and in addition to the bird's eye view of this beautiful landscape which has water bodies, birds, bees, butterflies, is you can touch, feel, smell, and experience the golf course. You can go for a walk on the edge of the golf course and get the 360-degree experience of living on it.
And don't get hit by the golf ball also.
No, because you're outside the safety zone. You can see it, but the ball cannot attack you. And that's if you're a non-golfer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be a part of an exclusive community that has access to play golf course, because golf as a sport is exploding. I'll tell you, in the last 15, 16 months, our golf revenues have gone 2.5 times here at Karma. At this pace, this game is growing. By 2030, we will have changed all our current policies of pay and play, people book through banks and come in, or could be members. We'll probably be only open to residents of the campus, and we'll be running a full house all the time. Maybe a few select members, but no walk-ins, no pay and play. And this is an amazing game because the kind of landscaping that you get to see, the creator's creation that you get to enjoy. There's 141 different species of birds that have been spotted here. And this place is a bird's delight.
This is mesmerizing, and this is, so it's got a magnet effect. The more I'm hearing, the more I'm, planning to, walk around, see, witness the reality, the realm actually created by your own hands and your vision. And I'm sure audience will definitely connect with your mindset. Because it's very difficult, in a space like ours, Delhi NCR, where I stay, I struggle with very high level of PPM you mentioned, or, and at this point of time when you mentioned that there are certain non-negotiables, no honking, with this so-called ideologies of bending your ego and bending your back, I'm sure, what is being created here, the world has to, take lesson from it.
The best way to enjoy this place is early morning, walk with me barefoot on the golf course. That's what I do. This is one of the rarest golf courses which will allow you to play the game barefoot, because we wished away the puritanism that's associated with this game. So how you can connect with the earth, if you walked one round of golf barefoot, you'll not get depressed. You'll handle life's passions so smilingly. I do it every day, and it's a beautiful life living here.
We are talking of such beautiful landscapes here. Where I come from, it's like a world of clutter. It's a world of cluttered minds, cluttered spaces, cluttered outlook, even cluttered ambitions. So if I ask Ashwani, how have you removed this clutter from your life to find the real peace in life? What is the message to your audience?
Well, some 12 years ago, I just realized even reading a newspaper, especially bedtime in your bedroom, the fresh printed inks on paper, they are vaporizing this chemical called tulin. And if possible, you should read your newspapers in your balcony or in your living room, never in your bedroom. And so I decided anyways, at an energy level, reading the newspaper or watching news on television was disbalancing my energy to a certain extent, despite my detachment mode of a mindset. I decided to drop subscribing to the newspapers, watching news channels. So it's so many years, more than a decade now. I do overhear news from people like you, and do learn that there's wars happening around the planet and stuff. But I'm not a great seeker of news and things that would disbalance my energy. I love myself too much for that. And that's how I cut the clutter out of my mind, my energies.
Audience will relate to this, that we are living in a world of news wire, news on the go, and not that I want to put the paperback, backwards, but what Ashwani has just brought out, it's actually an alarming statement, और शायद इसका इल्म मुझे भी नहीं है. And I'm one of those who would actually read newspaper only in my bedroom with my, tea cup in my hand, and that's what has been life all about. And it's like an awakening for me now. And आप सबके लिए भी एक awakening है कि instead of reading newspapers in your close premises, now at least if you have some space available which is called balcony, which is very difficult to find in metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Delhi, वहाँ पे आपको वो जगह ढूंढनी पड़ेगी. नहीं तो there are beautiful channels like Quint, First Post, Times Now. All these channels are available on your Insta accounts itself. So news on the go is something which connects me very fast to what's happening across the globe, and we have to keep ourselves
Zarur, everybody cannot be in the space that I am in.
Yeah.
But my message is printed inks vaporize into tulin, which is cancer causing, and a lot of people proudly.
ये कोई बताता नहीं है.
देखिए,
talks about
आपने
it.
देखा होगा कई लोग तो अपने बेडरूम को कम लाइब्रेरी बना के रखते हैं, 150-200 बुक्स भी वहीं रखी होती हैं. ये प्रिंटेड इंक्स की वेपराइजिंग जो है 10 साल या उससे ज़्यादा तक चलती है. मेरा ये मैसेज है कि प्रिंटेड मटेरियल आप बेडरूम से मिनिमम कर दीजिए. कोई रात को सोते टाइम एक किताब पढ़ते हो तो एक किताब ही आप बेड साइड पे रखिए, और बाकी सारी चीज़ें किसी और कमरे में ले जाइए. बेडरूम में खास तौर पे, क्योंकि जब आप सोते हैं तो आपकी बॉडी मैक्सिमम अंदर से हील करती है. उस टाइम पे आपको ताज़ी हवा चाहिए, अच्छी ऑक्सीजन चाहिए, और प्रिंटेड इंक्स की जहरीली सांस आपको नहीं लेनी है. ये अगर आप ध्यान रखें तो कितना फ्रेश आप उठेंगे. इन चीज़ों को ध्यान रखते हुए अगर आप सोएंगे तो आपकी बॉडी इतनी स्वस्थ रहेगी. आपको देखना होगा, मैं वैसे ही करता हूँ.
देखिए, हमारे लिए काफ़ी मुश्किल होता है अपने वातावरण को चेंज करना, बट जो हम खुद चेंज कर सकते हैं, जो हमने सेल्फ इन्फ्लिक्टेड वातावरण बनाया है, एटलीस्ट हम वो तो करें. शुरुआत तो वहीं से होनी चाहिए. एंड जैसे काफ़ी लोग जो इस चीज़ को सुन रहे होंगे, इस पॉडकास्ट को सुनेंगे, they might have their cribs, this is like too good to be true. But when they will connect with this idea that what is self-inflicted poison that we are giving to ourselves in our daily lives, at least we can get away from that poison. And I think this is now becoming more informative podcast than just barely an emotional or a inspirational podcast. And I'm thankful to you because इतनी चीज़ें न्यूज़ ऑन द गो में भी मैंने कभी सुनी नहीं, पढ़ी नहीं, समझी नहीं. तो
रानी की बात है, मैं टॉप डॉक्टर्स हैं, कोई मेरे दोस्त हैं, कुछ टॉप एनवायरमेंटलिस्ट हैं मेरे दोस्त हैं, लेकिन ताज़ी हवा
जी,
ऑक्सीजन लेवल इंडोर्स मेंटेन करना, इस पे कोई बात ही नहीं करता. सिर्फ प्रदूषण पे बात करते हैं. आप भूल जाते हैं कि 11,000 लीटर प्रतिदिन हवा हर इंसान सांस लेने में कंज्यूम करता है, जिसका मतलब है 450 लीटर प्रति घंटा प्रति इंसान. और इसकी रिप्लेनिशमेंट भूल जाते हैं आप. आपको एयर कंडीशनर को बहुत एफिशिएंट रखना है. आपको प्रदूषण बाहर की स्मेल को अंदर नहीं आने देना. उस चक्कर में आप बाहर से ऑक्सीजन को भी अंदर आने से रोकते हैं. कार के अंदर आप हमेशा रिसर्क मोड में अंदर की हवा को अंदर घुमाते रहते हैं. ये भूल जाते हैं 450 लीटर ऑक्सीजन के लिए आपको हवा हर घंटे इस्तेमाल करनी है. एज अ रिज़ल्ट आपके जो ब्रेन सेल्स हैं इतने स्लो हो जाते हैं. आज मैं आपको बताता हूँ 30% रोड एक्सीडेंट्स जो लॉन्ग जर्नीज़ में आप 5-4 घंटे की ड्राइव पे दिल्ली से मान लीजिए चंडीगढ़, जयपुर जाते हैं, आगरा जाते हैं, इतनी एक्सीडेंट्स 30% इसीलिए होते हैं. आपको ऑक्सीजन ताज़ी बाहर से आ नहीं रही होती, आपको नींद आ रही है, और आप स्टीयरिंग व्हील पे कॉग्निशन को कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड सिचुएशन में आपको एक हार्मफुल कितने टन की मशीन दे दी गई है. आप जैसे झपकी खाते हैं, क्रैश करते हैं, अपनी लाइफ को डेंजर में डालते हैं, परिवार और ज़िंदगियां. एक बार और 30% एक्सीडेंट इस वजह से हो रहे हैं. इसका सल्यूशन बहुत आसान है, अवेयरनेस हो तो.
I think vents can be kept open. internal vents of the car
Always,
can be
always
kept open.
your default setting should be vent open and not recirc mode. Nobody will tell you this.
And I think everybody keeps it closed
Yes.
because we are recycling
Even
in the
automakers,
name of cooling effect.
आपको एयर कंडीशनिंग एफिशिएंट बनानी है, आपको गाड़ी के अंदर आजकल हेपा फिल्टर ऑलरेडी लगे हुए हैं. अगर आप वेंटर ओपन करेंगे तो 100% साफ होके तो हवा नहीं आएगी, लेकिन 70-80% या जितनी भी आएगी
जी.
आपको ताज़ी हवा तो चाहिए, आपको ऑक्सीजन तो चाहिए. अगर मैं आपको सुपर क्लीन, स्मेल फ्री, ऑक्सीजन फ्री हवा दे दूं तो आपको चाहिए? नहीं चाहिए.
No.
You don't need clean, smell free air, sans oxygen. That's my message. People are missing out on it. People are losing their health, heart seizures, Parkinson's, dementia coming at age 69 if it was destined to come to you at 82. These
We're
are the
advancing
reasons.
it.
हाँ जी,
उसको हम एडवांस कर रहे हैं.
उसको एडवांस कर रहे हैं आप.
अच्छा, लाइफ की ये जो सादगी है ना, इसमें छोटी छोटी चीज़ें जो बेसिक्स होती हैं हमारी लाइफ की, विच इज़ एक्चुअली फ्रीली अवेलेबल टू अस, जिसमें हम सबसे ज़्यादा संकोच करते हैं उसको फ्री में लेने में.
आज टेक्नोलॉजी आ चुकी है. एक तरफ प्रॉब्लम है, पोल्यूशन, प्रदूषण की बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है
जी.
टेक्नोलॉजी है, आपको प्योरीफाइड फ्रेश एयर चाहिए, आपको एयर प्योरीफिकेशन नहीं चाहिए सिर्फ. ये ज़रा दोनों चीज़ों में फ़र्क समझें, और जब समझ आ जाएगा तो अपनी सेहत का, अपने परिवार की सेहत का, अपने बूढ़े माँ बाप, अपने छोटे
जो
बच्चे
लाइन
की
है
सेहत
ना,
का ध्यान रखें.
हाँ, उसमें लाइन कितनी छोटी है ना, प्योरीफाइड एयर एंड
प्योरीफाइड फ्रेश एयर वर्सेस एयर प्योरीफिकेशन. और बहुत
ही
बड़ी बात है,
और बहुत बड़ी बात है.
100 और 50 का फर्क है.
आई थिंक इंफॉर्मेशन जो होती है ना, कई बार इन पॉडकास्ट के चैनल्स के एपिसोड से भी हमारी जनता तक पहुंचती है. एंड आज तो हमने काफ़ी कुछ एक्सचेंज किया है, काफ़ी कुछ मुझे भी नहीं पता था. Ashwani, if I have to ask you, what is success for you today? Is it your net worth? Is it an impact? Is it the number of trees that you have planted? Is it the number of people that you have influenced? Or is it about sleeping peacefully at night? And at this point of time, are you still chasing something in life?
Yes, I'm relentlessly at work extracting juice out of life.
Juice
And
after
and my
juice
numbers,
out of life, yeah.
my numbers are trees. My
Yeah.
numbers are liters of rainwater harvested, liters of water conserved, savings of water wastage, leading a zero waste life. How I can achieve it? Can you imagine? My biggest excitement is in the next few weeks, over a ton of day of bio waste generated in the Karma Lakelands campus will be going into my biogas machine and turned into biocompost every day. And the biogas that will be emanating out of that will be piped straight to the club, 100,000 square feet. Thousands of people visit us every day. We will not be using the LPG gas.
Right.
We will be using our own manufactured biogas. We have 120 cows. We have about 100 goats. We have 1,000+ people, staff, canteens, food being consumed and food waste being generated. None of it will go to outside landfills. They will all go into my biogas chambers, massive containers over a ton a day. I mean, I can talk on and on at the numbers I'm chasing. Money, yes, but only to help me pay my bills. That's it.
You actually teleported me back to my science class, I guess maybe 6th or maybe 4th, जब ये बायोगैस का कॉन्सेप्ट हम बच्चों को, मतलब उस समय के बच्चों को इंट्रोड्यूस किया जाता है इन साइंस, maybe 6th, 7th, and it is something that you're living yourself with. While the world is struggling with Strait of Hormuz, when world is struggling with the cost of commercial and the domestic LPGs, you are creating a solution which is something deeply rooted inside us, but we don't understand. I mean, how fragile we are in terms of, just taking something which somebody has to offer, without looking into the pros and cons, without looking into the harms that come along. And the more we are getting in this sphere, the far we are going away from the very basics which can make our lives simpler, happier, more contented. And all the visionaries of this world are only talking about basics.
Go back to basics.
Go back to basics. Go back to Vedas. But none of us is listening. And that's the dichotomy. That's the dilemma. That's the plan of people like you. That, whether we die, we become immortalized. But with our messages, for our next to next generations who may not, experience the most beautiful part of the earth, but then at least strive, to get the very basic. वो अगर हम देसी घी भी खाएं तो वो देसी घी भी उसी फॉर्म में खाएं जो हमारी दादी हमारे लिए बनाती थी.
I call it the Vedic process. They call it the Bilona process. I eat my own homemade A2 ghee every day.
और मैं ढूंढता रहता हूँ, मुझे मिलता नहीं, और जब मिलता नहीं है तो हमें पता चलता है उसका कॉस्ट इतना बढ़ गया होता है, तो हमें लगता है यार ये कैसे अफोर्ड करेंगे. तो वही हम अपनी कैंटीन में जाते हैं, फौजी कैंटीन से, वहाँ से जो मिलता है वो उठा लेते हैं. That's armed forces officer's life also. Ashwani, you've had your fair share of experiences of life. Now this is something that I want to ask you, because I'm looking at you as somebody who's inspiring me at this point of time. So with this fair share of experiences, do you judge people even now? Or you have stopped judging people? Is that possible?
Well, you should not judge people. Everybody is on their own journey. Yeah. Everybody has his own life constraints, whether these are physical constraints, monetary, emotional, financial, whatever. So we all have to accept people the way they come.
Yeah.
Yes, at times I judge, especially one kind of people I judge a lot, people who live irresponsibly. Smokers, for example. On my golf course, even in the outdoors, you cannot hold a cigarette and walk. In my campus, you could be a visitor to my resort, you cannot hold a cigarette and walk. And the rule says, even in the outdoors, you have to look for a smoking point.
Okay.
2 reasons. One, I want to create a transformational space where after visiting, people start to reflect. What is it that we can do better for our health and the health of the Mother Earth, the planet? And it's very important to me that I am a space, a responsible one, where people look after their health, others' health, and of their Mother Earth.
Beautiful. I hope you don't hold anything against the smoker, but you hold something on the ways of how they smoke.
Very importantly, they say, hate the sin, not the sinner. But one thing I tell you, I walk into a golf course whenever I am free to play, happy to play alone, because often people ask me, playing alone? I say, yes, alone but not lonely. And then I'm happy to play with anybody except a person who smokes while golfing, because even a whiff of smoke, even in the outdoors, when it reaches me, I squirm and my nostrils burn. I've created them with such care and tender love that it affects me.
Understood.
So I run away from a person who smokes while playing. I do not allow a smoker on the golf course. I'm willing to lose the business. Many years ago, when we went commercial, and the experts said, listen, your idiosyncrasy of being a smoke-free golf course will get you to run empty.
Oh.
And I said, look, till the time...
It was that extreme?
Yes. Till the time I can put food on the plate for my children to eat, even out of my reserves, I'm willing to lose this business. With the hope, for this reason, if 4 golfers refuse to come, for the same reason, one day, 5 or more would visit. And
who are like-minded, like you.
So people who appreciate a smoke-free golf course will get to know about me a little too late or a little late. No problem, I'll wait for the day. Smokers who get irritated that even in the outdoors he doesn't allow us to smoke. We're not going to go there and play. All right. If one of you doesn't come for this reason, two others come. Today, you don't easily get space to play in this place despite all the restrictions. So the circle of karma comes back positively to me.
I know. Because in our podcasting world, we say there is always an audience for you. Yes. And I think you found your
I found
audience.
My audience.
Beyond your eccentricity.
Responsible living, restrictive practices out here.
Yeah.
But they come with a certain logic behind them.
Yeah, I think this gets proclaimed with a so-called glorified tag as eccentricity. However, I think visionaries, when they have certain non-negotiables, this is for the bigger picture. And that's why they are visionaries.
I don't call myself a visionary, but I do say I'm karma-driven. And that's how I chose the name Karma Lakelands for my space.
And I think everything boils down to our karma.
Yes.
From the time we are born to the time we die, it's all our karma that will account for our next birth. वो 84 लाख यूनियों के बाद मिले या जब भी मिले जिसका इल्म हम में से किसी को नहीं है, but it is all centered between the time we are born, the time we die, and the karma, the actions in between. And that's what, Shri Krishna, भगवान श्री कृष्ण भी पूरी भगवद गीता का सार भी हमारे कर्म के ऊपर ही है. And that's so beautifully, defined in that beautiful book, which I always yearn to, read again and again, because every time I read, I understand a different logic, a different meaning of it.
Absolutely.
If I have to, just stretch it a little more, and since I'm too inquisitive to understand something from my own learning process and something which audience will also, enlighten with, Ashwani, what's your insight of trust building when it comes to connecting with people, relationships, humanity, your profession, your business? What is Ashwani's insight of trust building?
There's a word called delegation. There's another word called abdication.
Right.
It's been a long time that I end up, in the name of delegation, actually abdicating. Unsupervised delegation of tasks, of power, whatever, is what I call abdication. So I have a very personal trait of giving work to people and then forgetting to supervise, overseeing them also. Most of the time, what happens is 1 out of 10 times you get betrayed, you get backstabbed, you get cheated. But the 8-9 out of 10 times, the empowered people who know this guy is not even overlooking my shoulder to see whether I've done the right thing or not. He doesn't ask, he doesn't question. If I make a mistake, his interest is only, is it a bona fide mistake? If yes, he is willing to take it as a cost of learning, and people give their best. तो 10 में से 8-9 लोग मेरे को पॉजिटिव रिवॉर्ड करते हैं क्योंकि मैं उनके शोल्डर से देख नहीं रहा हूँ ऊपर भी ये ठीक से कर रहे हैं नहीं कर रहे. So to me, abdication kind of a philosophy works well. If you trust people, they become trustworthy.
Yeah.
If you do not trust people and you're carefully monitoring them, then they will not become as trustworthy. That's my mantra. That's what works for me in my life.
I have a confession here, Ashwani. While you were not here and I was just getting ready, changing my attire, I went to the golfers' changing room, and there I met one of your staff and I asked him, how long have you been working here? He mentioned that he's been working here since past 5 years. And then he happened to mention, and I asked him, how do you feel, to be part of this organization? He's from Kolkata. And then he said...
Biswajit, maybe.
Yes.
I tell you one more thing. If you want to make a more loving world, a beautiful world, learn one new name at least every day. I work very hard. I have not great memory, but I try to learn new words.
This is exactly what we were taught as our leadership skills, as our leadership lectures when we were, in the initial phase of our armed forces training.
मैंने ज़्यादा पढ़ाई तो नहीं करी, पर self taught हूँ.
to call your colleagues, your subordinates, your men, uh, by their names, and that's how the connect happens. And then
So what did he have to say?
And he obviously amplified the brighter side, a very candid talk. And then he mentioned there are people who are here since past 25 years, 30 years. And then he also mentioned that we have these number of days working, and you can accumulate. There are times when the business is high, but then they get their dues, and that's what reflects about the employer's mindset and the so-called magic that you've created, not just in the so-called aesthetic perspective, but also in the minds of the people that you're connected as an employer. That is your employee segment. And kudos to that, Ashwani. It goes, I had to do a little bit of audit and a little bit of,
I hope it went
story for
all
the
right.
Untold. And I found the good reviews. So you're cleared. So if I have to ask you that, since I had mentioned in the beginning that as a commander retired from the Navy, we talk about wars. At this point of time, I would say when this Strait of Hormuz thing happened, it is almost like more than 70 to 80 countries right now affected by wars. And to add on, now we have these natural calamities, including what happened in Venezuela, and then so many things happening across the globe. What Ashwani feels is the future of Mother Earth?
Well, we're not treating her well. It's a writing on the wall. But I do not overly worry about it, because to keep my energies conserved,
Yeah.
I'm not going to drain myself to feeling low about it. I do my karma right. I spread the message in my area of influence. Whatever best we can do, we keep doing without overly worrying that the world is bringing itself down. I know it is, but do your best and leave the rest to the cosmic energies.
As I'm driving you towards the closure of this episode, I would like to explore and meet Ashwani Khurana, who is not in interviews, not in business perceptions, not in public profiles, but something on your candid side, and something which is to some extent the untold and the hidden side, something about your dance moves.
If you literally mean it, I dance around my partner's little finger. That's one.
Yeah.
Two, I do 6 different forms of dance, structured Latin dances, salsa, merengue, bachata, jive, cha-cha, and my latest love affair, the Argentinian tango.
Wow.
And I play golf only once a day. I do my 15,000 steps every day. Twice a week, I work on weights in the gym, resistance training. And I lead a very active physical life. I don't strain my mind much. Intellectually, I have a pretty unused brain, I feel. And I fly light. I don't take adverse kind of people's opinions against mine to heart. And it's good to fly light, so I believe.
You mentioned something about the brain. There was this contestant in India's Got Latent.
Talent.
No, it's got
Latent.
India's Got Latent, and it has always been in news because of all the wrong reasons. And there was this beautiful girl from Arunachal Pradesh, and when during the conversation she was asked something from the judge, and then she very beautifully comes and says, this upper brain, this is hollow. She was trying to bring something else on the table, but then the choice of the words that she used at that point of time, it was so beautiful, and just everybody started just laughing around. I would now take you on to the rapid fire. If I have to ask you something in one word, it's gonna be a little catchy because sometimes our brain is twisted, by the kind of questions that are being thrown upon. So if you have to tell one word for money, what it would be?
Enabler.
Enabler. I love that word. One word for failure?
Learning.
Correct. Every failure gives you a lesson. One word for nature?
Mother.
Yes, beautiful mother and beautiful responsibility. One habit that changed your life, I think.
Acceptance.
Oh, God, you're so touchy, man, that way. One thing you never compromise on?
Responsibility.
Very nice. One person who shaped your thinking?
My mother.
Your mother. I think I guessed it. One business myth you want to destroy?
Profit is God.
Profit is?
God.
One environmental sin that we commit every single day?
Making convenience more important
Yeah.
than the health of the planet and its people.
वही बात आ गई सादगी की. One thing every entrepreneur should plant other than trees.
Kaizen.
What is it?
Kaizen.
Kaizen.
Kaizen is a Japanese word. It means continuous improvement. That's what my office is also
Yeah,
called.
I read that. Continuous
So
improvement.
in this company,
Yeah.
every day there are various subgroups. People are made to think,
Yeah.
what is it out of the box that we can do today? Maybe what we did yesterday, how we did yesterday, is not relevant for today. So continuously improving, reviewing, changing.
I think if I have to decode this answer, I would say for those entrepreneurs that you have to become the better version of you than what you were yesterday. So this is like an evolution that happens on a daily
Continuous
basis, not just in months or a years. It's an everyday process. One song that you secretly love dancing to?
The theme song of Godfather movie.
What is it
My-
called?
It's just a theme song.
It's the theme song, and I
instrumental.
think I have seen you dancing on that song. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe we can keep it as behind the scenes.
Yes. I think I can give you a little video of me and Dicky doing the Argentinian tango on the Godfather.
Don't worry, Commander Victor Mike has everything in his pocket.
He has a trick up his sleeve always, I know.
That's what I need to ensure. Ashni, if you could plant one seed, not in ground, but in the minds of every single individual in the Indian continent, what would that seed be?
Just understand the interdependence of the elements of the Creator's creation and just work along.
That's so beautiful. It's so overwhelming to, understand that every sphere of our life cycles is always teaching us very basic lessons, which we differ, which we don't listen, and somehow it keeps giving us those lessons in different forms, and still we keep striving, very hard to stay away from it. And when you brought that word out called acceptance, I think that's the understanding we have to take away from this episode of this podcast.
Absolutely. Now, one thing I'll elaborate about interdependence. There's a partnership I had for a while with a large real estate company. They came up with an idea that we floodlight the entire golf course. And I said, no. God, when He created the universe, He created golf as a game. He had an intention that certain things will happen in the day and certain things that will happen at night.
Yeah.
I don't think He planned golf to happen at night. And He did not want His other creation to be disturbed.
Yeah.
Who am I to mess around with His wishes? I have to protect the birds, bees, butterflies, the bugs by keeping them protected from light pollution. I want you to know there's a particular golf course in Delhi, in the NCR, which got floodlit some 18 months ago. A resident in its periphery, a friend of mine, tells me the bird chirpings early morning at that place have completely stopped after it got night lit. The trees have remained the same. The forest is still the same. It's just floodlit till probably 10, 11 p.m. Birds are gone. So this is an interdependent world. Inclusiveness and interdependence is very important to me and all my area of influence.
I think in our scientific language, it's called a symbiotic relationship. And for such visionaries who happen to, put floodlights, I think making, life comfortable for a very small segment of populace
which is very selfish.
is the most selfish thing that we can visualize and understand at this point of time. And there are times as humans when me, you, everybody, keep committing crimes. But on a forum, we, bring out, things which glorifies the better side of us. But deep inside, we need to understand that every crime that we are committing today, that is what is our karma.
It's going to come back to us.
It's going to come back to us.
Or to our next generations.
And I think the only gift other than Mother Earth that we can give during our karmic actionable life is to give a little better version of Mother Earth when we die to our next generation.
We will love them.
Would you like to leave our audience with a beautiful message looking directly into their eyes? And that's how I would like to culminate this beautiful episode with Ashwani Khurana.
My 7 favorite words I live by, I breathe all the time: clean, green, serene, responsible, sights, sounds, and smells. Bend your back, bend your ego every day. Life will be beautiful. You'll be blessed. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, today was not a story of a business or a resort owner or an entrepreneur. Today was a story of a man who discovered that success without consciousness is incomplete. A man who reminds us that this planet does not require our sympathy, it requires our responsibility. This is the Untold Story with Commander Victor Mike, and today's Untold lesson is very simple. If you want to leave a legacy behind, build something which outlives your ego. मैं अपनी जनता, अपनी ऑडियंस का तहे दिल से फिर एक बार शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूँगा। आप सभी के सपोर्ट से मैं यहाँ पहुँच पाया हूँ और शायद आपके सपोर्ट से मैं निरंतर आगे बढ़ता रहूँगा। Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to me and my beautiful team. आप सभी के सपोर्ट से we will ensure that we bring beautiful and inspirational stories to you. Thank you for being a part of the Untold Story. This is Commander Victor Mike signing off. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Hi Ashwani, welcome to the Untold Story with Commander Victor Mike. It's such a pleasure having you on board, man.
Thank you, Commander. Thank you.
2 words before Commander Victor Mike will fire missiles. Please come. This is Ashwani's studio, Ashwani's office, and I have taken over the studio for some time now. How do you feel to be a part of the Untold Story?
Couldn't be better.
Couldn't be better?
It's amazing because there's a lot I have to sing, and I know you'll make it happen.
Yes, and I was looking forward for this podcast, not from the perspective of, just adding on to the algorithms, more numbers, but the visionary you are. You actually touched my heart, my soul, and I think you will touch the heart and souls of beautiful audience who are watching us today. So it's again a pleasure to host you today, Ashwani. Let's get rolling.
Thank you.